The fire marshal just said that if everybody organizes themselves in a line, that they may let more people in the rally at the Waterford in Springfield, Virginia. Everybody rushed to get in line. There's a lot of excitement out here. Everybody wants to see Ron Paul. Ron Paul! It's a long line out here for Ron Paul. Why do you support Ron Paul?
End the Fed.
To end the Fed?
Constitution. End the war! So we can go inside if we want to, even if there is a fire.
True fiscal conservatism.
Do you believe any of the other politicians?
Hell no. There is no difference, except for rhetorical, in a Democrat and any other Republican other than Ron Paul. A Democrat wants to expand the power of federal government and increase taxes. Republicans, and they tell you that. A Republican will claim to be for limited government, but if you look at their record, they increase the size and power of the federal government at the expense of your individual liberties and our economy. Ron Paul for president. And the Fed.
Where are you from? What area are you from?
Silver Spring, Maryland.
You're from Maryland? Thank you.
Now what?
Sir, can you tell me why you're supporting?
I want to save this country. I want to save our civil liberties. That's the most important thing to me.
Civil liberties are most important to you?
Right, yeah. Because that way we can solve all the problems. There's economy or whatever that is, like if we have the liberties and the government just guarantees the safety of the people, they can solve the problems themselves. We don't need the government to get in that way and solve it for us.
You don't think that we need the government to solve our problems, is what you're saying? If the government will let us have our rights?
As long as it's not violating liberty and our freedom, then they can do whatever they can do. Like they can help us, but when they cross that line, I don't want that. I don't accept that. Yeah.
So you're for very limited government, like Dr. Paul.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Oh, I got you. I got you right here. End the wars of aggression, bring all the troops home, end the Fed, end the drug war, and that's all I got.
Basically, Ron Paul's entire platform?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I'm not sure about the gold standard thing, but I think the important thing is we have a system that the government just can't spend unlimitedly and have a tax on people. You know, a tax, so inflating the currency.
The inflation tax?
Yeah, it's an inflation tax.
So you're for strict limits on government power?
Yes, absolutely, of course. That's why most of these people are here. Everybody's read 1984, you know.
Right.
I mean,
what area are you from?
Here, this area.
You're from Springfield area?
Yeah, well, I went to Loudoun.
Loudoun?
So Loudoun County is probably, an hour or two from here.
Sure.
Northern Virginia.
Right.
So I think it's just amazing there's this many young people here. I've never seen, well, you did see something like that. You saw it in 2008, but Obama ain't going to get nearly as many people like he did in 2008. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
All the young people are going to Ron Paul, is what I'm saying. I think they're just going to, en masse, vote for him, choose him any way they can. So,
what do you think about what's been going on in the caucuses and some of the primaries?
Oh, I mean, it's totally expected. Everybody told you that no, they're not going to let him. I mean, you can just hear the Goldman Sachs people or whoever at the top echelons of the GOP establishment going, "What's the matter with these people? We tell you who to vote for, and that's that." And they're just getting angry at Ron Paul because he's getting all the people to come out grassroots style. So they're showing up. They're showing up. That's the only reason anybody knows anything about him. It's because of his popularity. Otherwise, you wouldn't get a snippet from anywhere. You know?
Right. Do you have any idea how your neighbors feel about Ron Paul and people in Loudoun County?
I don't know, but I know more people my age, young people, support him than any other candidate I've seen, even more than Obama, really, in 2008. Yeah. And that says something. I know a lot of young people, more than any other candidate, you know. So that's something right there, you know.
Right. So he is the supporter of a lot of young people in the Washington area?
Man. Look around, man. This is like 95% young people here. I mean, that's something right there, you know.
Right.
Sick of the Goldman Sachs establishment, you know, running it. So they're doing anything they can to speak out.
Right.
You know, we grew up, you know, with the drug wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and just this endless series of conflicts that are meaningless, are pointless, undeclared wars, you know. So he's been saying stuff all along, you know, saying the right stuff all along, and people are finally, you know, after the crash, you know, everybody started paying attention to him. So, rightly so. Yeah. So,
thank you. All right. Can you tell me why you came out here tonight? To support Ron Paul?
He's exactly right. I came here because this is where he is, and I wanted to see if I could see him before tomorrow, because tomorrow's a big day.
Right.
Kind of small day along the year, but big day for the GOP if there is, you know, a candidate that they support that I support. I support lots of things. I'd like to see Ron Paul in person if I can, and that's why I came.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a long line of Ron Paul supporters out here in Springfield, Virginia. The campaign rally was scheduled to start at 6:30.
What up?
Why'd you come out here?
Why'd I come out here? Because I love Ron Paul. He stands for liberty and truth.
Hoorah! Can't beat that.
Yeah. The Constitution.
How long have you been supporting Ron Paul?
About 2 years.
About 2 years?
Yeah.
Are you from this area? Where are you from?
I'm from Spotsylvania area.
Spotsylvania?
Uh-huh.
So you drove a couple hours to get over here?
Yeah, about almost 3 actually.
3 hours? Oh, really?
Yeah, for real.
That's a good little drive.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really think this guy's the answer, and if he's not the answer, he's paving the way for the guy who is the answer.
Exactly. That's probably his son.
And you know, the establishment can totally ignore him, and they can say, well, he doesn't matter, he's irrelevant, but you know what? He's paving the way for an idea whose time has come and it will not be challenged.
Right. Were you at the Veterans March for Ron Paul? Did you,
I was
you
not.
Make it down there?
I didn't make it down there. But I know this guy was.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he definitely was.
What was the? How do your neighbors feel? Your neighbors in Spotsylvania County and friends, how do they feel about Ron Paul down there?
Well, at first they thought I was crazy, and now they 100% agree with me.
Oh really?
Yeah. It takes drastic measures, you know, and it takes slowly chipping away. You know, like we have somebody for abortion, you know, like Mitt Romney who flip-flops on everything, and then we have somebody who's actually delivered 4,000 babies. And you can't flip-flop what he says and says, oh, he's not pro-life when he's a doctor and has delivered over 4,000 babies. It just doesn't work like that.
Right.
And that's an excellent tool we have with Ron Paul that we might not have with somebody else. And that's why I think he has so much momentum going for him, because he's done it for so long. And the next guy coming up probably isn't gonna have those type of credentials, but he'll have the ideas and he'll have the machine that Ron Paul's created behind him. And that's what we want. That's really what we want.
So if Ron Paul doesn't win, doesn't get the nomination, you think 2016 is really, was that too late?
Well,
Tipping point is today.
Today? You think it can be pulled off?
With delegates is hanging in there, I think you can. If the others attack each other, maybe they'll find the appeal in Ron Paul, an honest man among all the politicians. That's my vote.
Right.
the delegate process, he has a better chance than people think. People don't understand the delegate process. But that's how the Republican nominee is chosen.
Sure. Isn't he actually second in the delegate count?
By the official count, he is. By the unofficial count, who knows?
The media says he's fourth in the delegate count, but according to Ron Paul, he's second in the delegate count.
I believe Ron Paul.
And also polls show that he would beat Obama in the general election.
By 2 points. Before even one debate.
That's something that Mitt Romney can't do.
He can't beat Obama without the Ron Paul supporters, and
Ron Paul brings in all the independent
I'm writing
voters.
Ron Paul in.
Democrat, Republican, independent, just common sense candidate. Really.
Before you guys supported Ron Paul, who did you support? Did you support?
I supported
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain?
Herman Cain was the first choice.
Ron Paul.
I was raised in a vastly Republican neocon type family growing up.
Yeah.
So my first vote went to John McCain. And then I got educated. And I got educated all by myself. Dude, YouTube, Google, Facebook. And then my family friends, they're like, oh, you're crazy. And now look at it. We're not all so crazy anymore. Not so fringe anymore. Mainstream, baby.
Right. It's a couple thousand people here tonight.
We don't live in the desert.